Hello and welcome to Talking Game. It just finished. West Ham United 0, Liverpool 2. Let's get your feelings first of all. What are you thinking?
I'm completely fed up, actually, Geo. Completely fed up with it all. I know I should be more upset maybe when we lose to teams that we should be beating. I know I expected us to lose, and I know Liverpool. What's the point of me saying anything else good about Liverpool? Well, go and watch the preview if you want to hear me say some nice things about Liverpool. They're so good. I think I hate it, Gio. I hate it, and I'm a bit like this when we got turned over by Man City. If you remember, I hate the uncompetitive nature of it. I understand they're brilliant, and then I look at us and our deficiencies and where we're lacking, and how slow we are, awfully slow. I just find it completely depressing. And then look, this is not even a tactical analysis, and I see their keeper with his cat-like reflexes, who's ridiculously good. Ridiculous, jumping across the goal and doing a Gordon Banks save. They are so good. We shouldn't even be in the same league as that. We probably won't be very soon. But I'm totally fed up. I'm not angry. I'm totally fed up with what I've just watched. This wasn't a competition. It wasn't sport. We were lucky to get away with what we did, and the few times when we did have a chance to, we got in front of their goal on 3 or 4 occasions. To be fair, we just can't finish, can we? We're just fast and can't score. We're slow. Sorry, we're slow and we can't score goals. And I'm just completely fed up. Sorry, I don't normally come on like this, but I've had enough, really.
I feel meh. It's a really random thing to say, but I just feel meh. I'm not angry, I'm not fed up, I'm not disappointed, I'm not happy. I don't think we were bad tonight. I don't think we were bad. I don't think we were good. I feel we were just meh. I don't think Liverpool were great. I don't think Liverpool were bad. I think Liverpool were just meh. But meh is good enough for them, because Liverpool meh beats West Ham meh, if that makes sense at all. But I thought there's some positives. I think there's been more positives tonight than there was against Leicester, possibly even against Sheffield United for me, actually, despite Sheffield United being 1-0 and we almost snuck a draw at the end. I actually feel there was more individual performances tonight that were positive than there were poor. But the problem is, when the game plan did start to work, we were hindered by lack of pace, pretty much. We had a bit of pace. I think the game plan might have worked, but our game plan was set up to counter-attack, but we can't counter-attack. So therefore, the game plan is only half working, but is it possible to have a complete working one? I am not so sure. We'll go through the game a little bit. 25 minutes gone, it was still 0-0. Way! Robertson had the best chance. Lanzini had a chance which was ruled offside. Then Liverpool took the lead in 33rd minute. Penalty. The ball come in from the right. Origi got it, got brought down by Diop. What did you make of this?
Well, I thought it was a penalty straight away. I actually thought the young lad fouled him. I thought he was possibly fouled twice, Origi, in that. But then I looked on closer inspection. It looked like the young lad missed with his foul, and Diop managed to get him in the end. What I did think was that I didn't think. I don't blame them for making a challenge. That's really hard to play against Liverpool. But I actually think that maybe Liverpool wouldn't have scored then, because I think Fabianski's so quick off his line. Fabianski, even if Origi does get through, and it's a great first touch from Origi, by the way, I think Fabianski comes out and spreads himself to stop the shot. So I don't think it was as dangerous as it looked. I'm not, he wasn't 100% going to score then, is my point. Got replayed for the VAR and the handball, which we have suffered from. We've had a couple of goals ruled out. When I saw it, I thought, actually, unless they've got another angle on that, I wasn't sure it had brushed his hand. And I thought, if you think it's brushed Firmino's hand, and possibly it also brushed Bonner's just before. So
it doesn't matter though if it's brushed Bonner's as well. If it's even
no, but Bonner's was first. So if it has
done, the rule is if the ball touches the opposition, the goal scoring team's player's hand, it's ruled out regardless of anything else.
Well, no, but if they looked at it and the first person to touch the ball with their hand was Ogbonna, then it's a penalty for handball.
No, because you can't do that because you're not checking for a penalty in that instance. You're checking for purely, first of all, offside by Firmino. It wasn't offside. Now they're checking for handball by Firmino. That's it. They're not checking for handball by Ogbonna or any other fouls or that, and then build up to the goal.
I didn't see anything conclusive enough to suggest that it had hit his hand. It wasn't like the accidental one with Rice, where it definitely hit his hand. I think you're looking at it. It may have brushed it. It may not have brushed it. I don't think it was clear enough to rule out the penalty, which had rightly been given. To be fair. It's
the same for me actually. Inconclusive. I find it baffling that there's only one camera angle though.
Yes. Yeah.
I find that completely strange. In the Premier League, in this day and age, the London Stadium, big place, loads of cameras around, but there's only one camera angle out the whole ground. Obviously, there's only a small part of the ground that's going to have the angle. But you tell me we didn't have a camera angle apart from the one that we saw, and I'm like you, it's inconclusive. It might have touched his hand, it might not have. I don't know, I can't tell. But anyway, went in 1-0 down at half time. What were you thinking at the break?
I was thinking the floodgates are going to really open now, and I wasn't thinking. I was thinking, oh my god, we got to watch another half of this, and I just didn't feel that we could get back into it. I knew I wasn't sure that Moyes was going to open up, but I thought even if he had have opened up, which he didn't, then they would come and they would score lots and lots and lots of goals. It's quite telling that. And as you say, I mean, I don't think we were terrible today. And in many respects, obviously we'll do our preview before Brighton. I think we'll possibly go on and beat Brighton. I think we've got a good chance now. So I think there was enough promise from Moyes in the way he'd set the team up. And particularly in the first exchanges before they scored, the way Ogbonna in particular was playing, I thought, hold on, there's something going on here, But so at half, but it's gone when you set up like that. It's gone once you concede. It's all over. I've got to say, after 25 minutes, I thought maybe something can happen. But at 45, what was I thinking? We were thinking we're going to lose. Really.
Yeah, I mean, for the penalty thing, I've not really spoke about it. I think the young kid Nagaki has made an error there. He's got caught the wrong side of Origi. I'm not going to whack him or lambast him for it. It's an error. He'll learn from it. He's going to have to. You have to accept mistakes when you put someone in like that. Unfortunately, it's a huge error. When you say you have to accept mistakes, sometimes it's getting caught by playing the high line. He's maybe a yard behind someone. A couple of times Robertson or Origi got in behind him with a 1-2. That's fine. You can accept that. But when he got caught goal side, it is harsh, but even at under 23 level, you'd be disappointed if he did that mistake. Diop's lunged in because he's obviously felt he had to, and I'm a bit like you actually. I would have liked to have seen what would have occurred if Fabianski was able to come flying out at him because he picked the ball up. I know Origi would have got some sort of contact on it, but it was a stonewall penalty. There's no doubt about it. At half time though, I was reasonably content. On one side, I was thinking, you know what? I thought we've looked okay. We've looked organised. We're working hard. We're working as a team. Nobody's come. A couple of times Robert Snodgrass went to do his run, chase the goalkeeper down, but he stopped halfway and thought, actually, no, I'm not going to do this. This is stupid. I'm going to get back into my shape now. I thought Snodgrass and Masuaku were working hard to keep Alexander-Arnold and Robertson quiet enough and help out the fullbacks. But the other side of me was thinking, we ain't scoring. We are not scoring. We've had one half chance in the first half and it was offside. So I just couldn't see it. You're looking at the bench, you're thinking there's not much you can do there because what we need is pace and we haven't got any on the bench. There's none. There's no pace whatsoever. But Lanzini went close on the 48th minute. A good play from Declan Rice. Cut it back to Lanzini, who had half a chance but didn't really do much with it. Went straight to Alisson. Roll to Alisson. And then Fabianski made a fab save from Roberto Firmino. A minute afterwards, actually. Then in the 51st minute, Gonzo, we got a corner. And there was a goal.
Yeah, that'll teach us. Yeah, I mean, I think there was ample opportunities to cut that out. By the way, I think Noble shouldn't have let that bounce or do what he did. Otherwise, he sort of did a backheel flick. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. It went through, and they went on and scored, and he scored smartly enough. Actually, we had the situation because it was a corner. We had Lanzini trying to run. Well, I guess he did run back. It just wasn't effective enough because Oxlade-Chamberlain was to go on and score, but Oxlade-Chamberlain had to only go past Lanzini to then pop the ball in the back of the net. So I mean, what can you say? It's a bit of a shame, but we had to go up and take that corner. Well, obviously by the rules of the game, if you get a corner, you have to take it. But you know what I mean. We had to go and put the ball in the box and see if we could win a header and score a goal. And Ogbonna's always a threat in those situations. So at least these things happen, unfortunately, and well, what can you say? I'm sorry, G. I'm sorry. I'm just completely.
It's crap from Masuaku and Noble. It's crap because that ball comes out. They're outside the box in order to get the ball back in. There's a clear breakdown of communication between the two of them because Noble leaves it for whatever reason. Masuaku leaves it for whatever reason. Then it bounces. And it goes back to Sunday League football. You don't let the ball bounce. That's the basic rule. You just don't let it bounce. So it bounces. It goes up. Then Masuaku's got a 50-50 header with Salah. And neither of them touch it. It comes down again. Masuaku completely bottled the header. After the communication breakdown, after there's an error, you could tell we're in trouble because Noble's done that funny flick thing. So you can tell we're under pressure. This is where Masuaku should have just grappled Salah, just held him, pulled him down, said, look, you can have a free kick here. I'll even take a booking. I really don't care. But he doesn't. He stands off. Doesn't even go in for a header. If there's anyone in the Premier League you want to go up for a header against, it is probably Mo Salah. With the greatest of respect to him, I would fancy any of our players in the air against him for a header. Salah would probably fancy our players against him for a header. So he leaves it, and then as soon as it occurred, it's 3-on-1. Whoever it was that was defending, we had that one defender back, and then Oxlade-Chamberlain running. Lanzini, he's got the body of a 9-year-old child, doesn't he? He just bounces off him. He tries to tangle up with him and put him off and whatever, but he just falls over. Oxlade-Chamberlain's just completely unflustered by what's happened. Stayed up, keeps his balance, puts it away, 2-0. And it was just game over. 40 minutes to go, and they're sort of, oh well, pack up and go home a little bit. Nogas had a shot. He could have done a bit better. He hit into the ground. Alisson tipped around the post. And the 68th minute came. Pablo Fornals came onto the pitch for Manuel Lanzini. Then West Ham hit the post through Trent Alexander-Arnold. And then Declan Rice had a header which brought out a really good save from Alisson towards the end, but it finished 2-0 to Liverpool. What's your thoughts, my friend?
I couldn't get over how slow we are, and I'm like a scratch record on these videos going on about how slow we are. It's where we're almost at the end of the transfer window. Not addressed that issue. There's been a glaring problem. I know we'd look very different with Anderson and Antonio in the team, but I'm not entirely sure we can just rely on that. I looked at the young lad, I mean, he did not have a faultless game today. At times he looked nervous and he made some mistakes. But when I saw him trying to take the ball forward, and he did take the ball forward, his final ball needs to be worked on, and I'm sure it is. He's only a young lad. I just thought to myself, why hasn't he featured a little bit more? Why has Zabaleta continued to be played in that role? Would I play the lad ahead of Fredericks? No, but bearing in mind Fredericks was out. Actually, the kid's got some confidence. He's got some ball control. He doesn't mind dropping a shoulder and taking it inside. He's willing to have a cross. I think had that lad had played 3 or 4 games before now, we'd have seen a better player today. Yeah. I've no doubt about it. He did seem to grow into the game a little bit. I know he made the mistake afterwards, but he did seem to grow into the game a little bit. And I thought, well, okay, there's a little bit of pace there. So I was pleased for him to make his debut, and it's not really going to get any worse for him than that, to be perfectly honest. I hope they persist with him up until the point where they bring someone in, which is not going to be many days. But I also hope they bring someone in, because that's got to be dealt with. so many times. I thought Masuaku was, like you said earlier, they tried. Many of our players tried today, Gio, but so many are just not good enough. And I'm not basing this. If someone's watching this video for the first time, they'll think, what the hell's this bloke going on about? It's Liverpool. I'm not just saying this about Liverpool. If that was just Liverpool, an isolated thing, I'd say fair enough. But against lots of the teams, they're just not good enough. Masuaku's just not good enough. Robert Snodgrass just not good enough. If we were playing gridiron, if we're in the NFL, and he was a specialist guy like they do, basically, we're in the different phases of play. They bring on different. They change the whole lineup. Bring on, if you could just bring him on for dead ball situations and stuff like that, absolutely, great. But unfortunately, football's not like that. You've got to run a bit and stuff like that. And I just thought he was painfully slow, very willing, trying to be as industrious as he could, but painfully awful. I thought Noble was awful. I thought Lanzini was awful. I thought Declan Rice was magnificent today. I really worry about him so much. I thought we tried. I thought Haller was a bit better. Again, really tried. But as I say, I thought the defenders, for periods, Bonner was magnificent. Cresswell, Diop, Fabianski made a couple of smart saves. There was stuff to be pleased about, but I look at how many average to poor players we've got, and particularly in the middle area. It is worrying. Fornals came on thinking, oh, okay, Lanzini's been terrible. Fornals is coming on. That sort of, he was terrible when he came on. There's some pressure on this new lad coming in the central midfield because we've got a major problem in there.
I don't know. At half time I was happy. I was more disappointed with the second half. I just felt we had lack of determination or whatever you want to call it to try and get back in the game. I said this in the build-up with you. I think Moyes would accept a 2-0 defeat because I felt that today watching it. I felt it 2-0 down. I felt that it was a case of this will have to do. We'll go again on Saturday kind of thing. At one point, when Fanal's literally just come on, we had a throw-in down the left-hand side. Creswell would take it. Allaire was standing in the box looking at him. Masuaku, for whatever reason, was behind Aaron Cresswell. Fanals was the only one moving. There was about 5 Liverpool players just looking at him, and you could hear the crowd going, well, get on with it. And Fanals got in. He took on about 3 players, and the 4th one took it off him, and there was just no support. At one point earlier, Snodgrass got it outside their box, but he was the only one up there. He literally ran across the whole 18-yarder, held off about 3 Liverpool players.
Yeah.
And after he got to the other side of the 18-yarder, there was no one. There was still no one. I just thought, I know we're slow, but how slow are we? And the thing is, this has been an issue since December, since November. It's day 29 of January, and we've not brought in someone to... If we'd had Antonio today and Anderson today, let's say it would have been a different game, but we'd have had different options, which would have helped us massively. I think defensively, I thought we were okay tonight, but I don't think Liverpool got out of first gear. They were missing their best player, Mane, but we held our own defensively. I thought we'd done all right. In the midfield, I thought we had the hustle and bustle, but we didn't have the creativity. We had the organisation, but we didn't have the flair. But in the final third, we had nothing. We had a couple of half chances that we managed to muster up, but through lack of composure, through lack of quality, through lack of it being a really good chance rather than a half decent one, we just didn't have much about us. The best save from Alisson was from a Rice header, from a set piece, and it's just extremely frustrating that we've got to this point. And I know what you're saying about Fornals when you come on. I thought him and Masuaku, they can't speak the same language, I don't think. Cause
no,
they can't. The amount of times it would happen. But the thing is, with Fornals is, I don't know if this is true, but what I'm going to say is, when David Moyes come in, he was our most competent player. He's been benched, subbed, benched. The guy's confidence has probably just gone down and down and down. And now we're putting him on, and I don't know, I'm just frustrated that... I'm not saying we've broken him, but I wouldn't be surprised if his confidence is broken a little bit, and it's just frustrating because we've been building it up all these months, got to the point where he was contributing, he was getting assists and a goal here and there, then we've thought, nah, out the team now, mate, out you come, and we've been gambling with Lanzini returning to form, and the gamble's not worked, and the cost of the gamble is potentially shattering Pablo Fornals' confidence. And it's not a good gamble, it's not a good bet. And this is where David Moyes frustrates me a little bit, because the defensive side is fantastic, but offensively, you really do sacrifice it. But tonight, does he get a pass? He sort of does, because it's Liverpool. He just gets that pass a little bit. If this was Brighton, for example, we'd be fuming. If this was Saturday and we replicated this, we'd be seething on Saturday. We knew Saturday was a must-win, but it just become an absolute must-win. Individual players, you've already mentioned a couple, but any more you'd like to?
Well, just before, you said that you thought Moyes, and you said before, as you certainly did, that Moyes had settled for a 2-0 loss.
Yeah.
I think Moyes actually did. I agree. I did think Moyes put out a tactical plan to try and either draw or snatch a 1-0 win, and it may. We could, if we could finish, we may have gone in. I also thought just early on, I know Lanzini's thing was offside, but Lanzini didn't know he was offside at the point where he took the thing. Okay, it was very much what I've been saying, and I looked at it, and I know sometimes if you have a belief, you look at something, you sort of confirm your own belief. Maybe you don't look at it impartially, and confirmation bias, as they call it, but I'm aware of that. But I looked at him and I thought the way he almost pulled his foot back as he shot, which went wide. And because he's scared, I just think a lot of people just hit that. All right, he's worried about kicking the player, basically. That's what he's worried about. He's leg kicking a player and then getting injured. So he sort of pulls his foot back to almost try and cushion it. And he wasn't fully committed to it. I just think we're seeing so much of that. When you say about Moyes settling for the 2-0 loss, I think Klopp settled for the 2-0 win.
Yeah, but he can.
No, I know. I'm just saying. We're lucky that he did.
Sorry. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think ideally, Klopp might be for 4 or 5, but it's actually no. Let's take the 2-0. Let's get Trent off and give him 15 minutes rest and move Henderson to right back. He was able to do what he wanted to do. It's another game chalked off when Mane comes back and all of that sort of stuff. So whilst it might look okay, the 2-0 loss, as you've already pointed out, that wasn't a Liverpool on top form. And don't think just because we've held Liverpool off for so long that we're going to go and have a tactical plan that's actually going to be something that's going to be effective against Tottenham or against whoever else, whatever nasty teams we got in the run-up. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So, I've mentioned the players, Gio. I've gone through them. I'm just really, really disappointed today, and I think also at the point, I know he's not brilliant, Ajeti. I know he's not, but I just wonder at the sort of point where it's clear that we're behind, and particularly with Noble playing as bad as he did and Lanzini playing as bad as he did, get one of them off and throw the striker on. Just do something, change it up. Don't continue. He played, I know the goal difference and all the rest of it, but he almost settled for the 2-0 loss. And no, come on, because we were actually able to create some attacks. Yeah. And I'm also looking forward, looking into the future. I think if he plays that formation, he does that, and we can get Anderson and Antonio on the pitch, and the back line play as well as they did, and he can sort out something in central midfield and so on and so forth. I think we might go into some games with the possibility of going and nicking them. Particularly if he can keep Haller as interested as he was today, and Haller was interested. It's almost like, I don't know if Noble's speech that he gave after the West Brom games, apparently he had to go to the team, in fact G'd everyone up a bit, but he seemed to do a bit more running. It seemed to stick to him. He was winning a few more headers. He was, laying it off, and he was trying to get involved. If Moyes can do something where he gets the defence as tight as that, and then he can somehow get Anderson and Antonio close to Sebastian Haller, we might be all right. But look, mate, I've named and shamed many of the players already.
I thought Ngakia did well. I think he can look back and be proud of that performance. Like I said, error for their penalty, big error from him. But I thought he offered. I used to keep calling Dean Gann a fearless. I kept attributing that to Ndiaye. I'm not going to say Ngakia was fearless, but he had a little streak of that about him a couple of times. He got on the ball and he's willing to push the ball 3 yards in front of him and run after it, kind of thing. His strides were longer than what you would expect from other players, etc. He was covering ground a bit quicker. He was a bit more direct, and I like that. He's got the ball, and often his first thing was, can I get forward with it? And even when the space wasn't there, he crept forward with it a little bit, and he was trying to do a little 1-2 or whatever. I'm happy with him. I'd like to see him keep his place for Saturday, to be honest, off the back of that. Back three, I thought did okay. Masuaku, I thought he had an okay first half, actually. I thought he looked quite interesting, quite dangerous at times. That ball for Lanzini when Lanzini was offside was fantastic, on the money. But then he goes and has that brain dead moment for their goal, and he just ruins everything. And then after that, you start seeing errors he's making, sloppy bits of play. I thought Lanzini was poor again. I thought Noble was okay at times. I feel a bit. He got booked when I don't think it was even a free kick, to be honest with you. And I think when you get a booking, it affects you a little bit, because then you have to restrain yourself a bit. You have to be restricted next time you go with the tackle. Rice was fantastic. Allaire I thought was okay. I know you thought he played really well. I thought he was really interested. He was really interested. Yeah. I thought he was a bit more interested in the West Brom game, but I'm still not overly happy with him. I still want to see a bit more from him. But there's a bit of positivity to take into the Brighton game off the back of tonight, despite a 2-0 defeat. But there's also a bit of worry, because while Liverpool played in first gear, Brighton won't be doing that. Brighton will be coming here and ramping up the tempo a bit, and we're going to see more waves come of attacks and stuff. Liverpool were very patient tonight with the ball, pass. We were able to get organised. Brighton won't give you that bit of time to be organised, and they're going to try and catch you out a bit more, and this is where we need to be switched on. My other concern, I will say this, and it's not his fault, it's nothing to do with him, Ngakia is very small. He is really small, and there was a couple of times the ball come in, I thought, oh no, someone goes up for a header with him. He's not winning it, he's just really small. And Potter likes his tall players. We'll talk about this in the Brighton preview. Any final words about tonight's game?
No, not really, mate. Are we doing man of the match?
If you want, if you've got one.
Yeah, well, we have a Declan Rice by a country mile. I thought it's such a winner. Such a winner, he really is. And I know he's a winner that keeps losing, but he's doing it again. I keep mentioning it. He's popping up on the wing. He's driving through the middle. He could have scored twice. It's force of personality. It's absolute personality. I'd love to take his personality and sort of transplant it into Lanzini. You know, to take the fear. He's got no fear. He's fearless, Declan Rice. I know, listen, I'm not blaming the referee for any part. We lost because we were crap and we're slow, okay? Let's get that right.
So was that
little thing when he was running down and somehow Van Dijk won the free kick against him. Absolutely ridiculous, actually. Absolutely ridiculous. And I just thought he was magnificent, really trying to, just never gives up, really trying to drive the game forward. For anyone... You know, like when he got picked for England, and everyone was saying, "Oh, he's crap. He shouldn't be." He got a load of stick, and people were, you know, look at that. You want to look at him? Look at today. You know, this is what Declan Rice.
He has had a blip in form, though. Rice has had a blip in form.
He has, but they weren't. He has, but he gives that all the time, and that's very reflective of Declan Rice. And I do think if you looked at all our recent 5-6 games, I think I've singled him out almost every single game for being what he is, which is just an absolute winner, a driving force. We're lucky to have him. We better hope we keep up, so we can stay up, so we can keep him.
Well, hopefully he can form a partnership with Solček. That's how you pronounce his name, apparently, Solček. So hopefully you can form a partnership with him for Saturday. Man of match for me is Rice. Runner-up, though, just to be different to you, runner-up is Fabianski. I just feel so much safer having him. He made a couple of smart saves again tonight. I was a bit worried when Ogbonna trampled on him pretty early on. I thought, oh come on, this is the last thing we need. But no, he's just when he's in goal, when someone goes to shoot, I don't panic. I'm sort of like, if you can beat Fabianski, you deserve to score, kind of thing. I thought he was good again tonight. Some really good saves from Fabianski. Good to have him back. Anyway, if you enjoyed this review, I think it's reasonably positive for a 2-0 defeat, but at the same time it's a cautious positivity, shall we call it. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, subscribe if you're new around here. We're off to record our player ratings for the patrons. So patrons, that will be live with you tomorrow morning. We will be live tomorrow evening with our Brighton preview as we look ahead to what is an absolute must-win for both teams, to be honest with you. Catch you in a bit.